welcome to Beyond the Pages. My name is Penny Delaney Cothran. I am the Multimedia Manager at the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce, as well as the editor of South Carolina Business Magazine. And it is my pleasure today to be joined by Mr. Brian Newman, who is the president of Honda South Carolina Manufacturing Incorporated. We're in Timminsville, South Carolina this afternoon. And I just wanted to get to know Brian first and then talk a little bit about Honda later. So first, let's begin with you, Brian. Tell me where you were born and where you grew up.
Well, I was born in Bellefontaine, Ohio, a small town just between Dayton and Columbus, Ohio, and born in the same city as Bellefontaine, born and raised there.
Wonderful. Where did you go to school?
Went to school in Bellefontaine High School, and then as far as college-wise, I started in a tech school, and then when Honda came to town, I decided to leave school, and so I call it the Honda University over the last 34 years where I've gotten all my education. So.
Very cool, very cool.
And trust me, there's a lot of education goes on daily.
Well, before Honda came to your town, what did you think you wanted to be when you grew up?
I think, in high school I was all focused on being a pharmacist.
Okay.
Actually, I was trying to take the credits, and for some reason I had the desire to help people and want to learn more about the medicine that people was putting in their bodies. And as I got into my senior year, I realized being a pharmacist took a little bit more math than I had the education for in my own mind and skill level, and I struggled a little bit. So at that time, I switched gears and I thought, well, I'll just get a business degree. But the way it worked out, when Honda came to Marysville, Ohio, which was 18 miles away from Bellefontaine, and owned Honda products all my life.
Okay.
My first product that I rode was a Honda motorcycle.
Very cool.
CB360.
Okay.
Loved that motorcycle. Loved it so much that when I turned 18, I had the opportunity to buy a car. I bought a Honda Civic CVCC engine. And then, and I really liked the Honda product. And then when Honda said they was going to build a plant in Marysville, Ohio, it really enhanced me to go out and put an application in. Started working with them in September of 1980.
Oh my.
Yeah, so 34 years now.
So take me down this career path of yours. You started as a fan and got a job.
I did. My first job, believe it or not, was to sub-assemble some saddlebags for the Goldwing motorcycle.
Oh, cool.
And that was fun. And then I had the opportunity to go over to where the engine is put into the frame.
Okay.
And I did those processes for a while. And probably, what was it, less than a year, I was asked a core group of 20 to go to Japan for 8 weeks to help start up the automobile plant that was being built adjacent to the motorcycle plant.
Okay, and what kind of automobiles were they making there?
The first one was going to be a 1982 Accord. So I went to Japan for 8 weeks with a core group of 19 others, and my job was to learn everything about the instrument panel of the car. Okay. The inners and outers, and so you sub-assemble that panel offline, and it goes into the body. Okay. And so I was the sub-assembly part of it, and that was real interesting. And so when we started to plant up in Marysville, okay, of course we hired many associates, and I became team leader, and I had that area of responsibility. And again, our associates learned every process and learned the quality points and all the safety points of that. And from there, then Honda decided to expand and start making engines in the United States, and that was the next plant. So we had the Marysville motorcycle plant, we had the Marysville auto plant, and they announced that they're going to build an engine plant to make the Goldwing engine, and then eventually the auto engines. Okay. So for some reason, I was picked again, a core group of 5 this time, to help start the engine plant. So off to Japan I go several times. Oh my. And responsible for the engine assembly portion and the engine quality portion of the Goldwing engine, which is the most complex engine still today of any engine that Honda Motor makes. It's a flat 4 then it went to a flat 6. Okay. It's got, of course, the transmission engaged inside the engine with the motorcycle. So I had fun at Anna Engine Plant from 1984 up to about 1996. Okay. My growth at that point was from a team leader to a coordinator to an assistant manager to a manager of engine assembly and engine quality. And then in 1996, they asked me to be the lead project leader. We did not only engine then, but we also did automatic transmissions in the same roof of the Anna engine plant. And with the V6 engine starting to catch hold in North America, Honda decided to invest in the V6 and go from just a L4 to a V6. So we needed space. So they asked me to lead a team to push out all the transmission business. So the casting, machining, and assembly of the transmission had to be moved so that we could make room for capacity for the V6 engine.
Okay.
And so we moved it to a satellite company called Belmar Parts Industry. And at that time, I was promoted to senior manager, and I not only had the manufacturing responsibilities of making sure we could transfer all this to that company, I also had all the support functions: accounting, purchasing, spec control, the whole gamut of the transmission. So when we was going to that new company, we then made that Honda transmission manufacturing in Russell's Point, Ohio.
Okay.
So I've had the opportunity since then. Now my life is in 1997. So from 1980 to 1997, I've had the opportunity to work in 4 different companies, and my progression from an associate to team leader to coordinator, assistant manager, manager, senior manager was all within that path. And challenging, but a lot of opportunities to learn a lot of things as I had these opportunities given to me. And then I got the phone call in 2001, sitting at my desk about 7 o'clock p.m. And in 2001, got a call by the president and the senior vice president of Honda of America and asked me to come over for a meeting. I did. They said effective July, you'll be transferred to Honda of South Carolina as their plant manager and vice president of that facility. And I thought, so we're out of Ohio now. We're going to where? South Carolina. I did visit this facility in 1998 when it first opened. I had the opportunity to meet Bill Kalb and Jeff Elton and some other fine associates here, so I was aware that they made the ATVs, and I was very impressed with the facility and how clean it was, and of course a new plant, right? You're being in Anna and HTM, I wasn't blessed with that newness. This was new. So I knew a little bit, but not enough. But anyway, that's where I need to go next. So I went, and I've been here now 13 years.
13 years.
It's been quite an opportunity and an honor to represent this company as their plant manager, as their vice president, as their senior vice president, now as president. And very honored to be the second president named, U.S. president named in North America. So
okay.
It comes with a lot of responsibility, but it's also a huge honor. So when I look at associates and they say, can you achieve something? You can. If you have the passion and you have the right mindset and the willingness, I believe you can do anything. And I think I'm a proof to that. So when they ask me what my education was, and they get a lot of those questions, I have to say Honda University, because I learned the hard way. I had to grow up through the ranks, but I'll never trade that. I'll never trade that, because I know what an associate goes through every day because I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I know what a team leader goes through because I worked it, a coordinator and on up. So I know the challenges they're faced with every day because I lived that. And I think that's I guess if I have anything to hang my hat on with our associates, I think I know what they go through, and I think it makes me a stronger leader because I can relate to every level out there on the floor.
Well, as you're reaching behind you and pulling these new associates forward, did you have anyone who did that with you, perhaps?
Oh, absolutely. Throughout my whole career, I've had different mentors, U.S. and Japanese.
Oh.
I've had some real good Japanese mentors. My first assembly at the auto plant, Masao Yoshikawa, I was always one to jump in and help because that's what you do. When associates were behind, I jumped in and helped, and I helped, and I helped, and I helped, and I was working very hard. And he pulled me off the line one day, and he taught me a vital lesson. He said, Brian, all you're doing is firefighting. And he's drawing on a box, He's so funny because they couldn't speak a lot of English, so they would draw. And so he put a little rowboat in the middle of a pond with a stick man with standing there like this, and he's standing on the shore with the oars.
Oh, wow.
And he said, that's you.
Oh,
You're
my.
in the middle of the water. You're helping everybody, but you're not understanding what the problem is or why the line's not running. You have to step out of that. Step back. Grab your oar. Have the resource. And step back and learn, why is that associate struggling? Why is that associate? And so now I got my first education of management. Even as a team leader, I thought I was doing well. Associates love me because I was busting my butt, helping them out. But I realized that's not what you have to do. You have to step back and you have to understand what needs to be rebalanced or what needs to be changed and make the process run flow for everybody. And so that was one lesson. But I've had mentors throughout. You have to have, from associate up to where I am today. So it's just not me, it's all the associates that work with you. You're only as good as the people that work with you, right? So.
Okay. What advice would you give to a young associate?
Best advice is if you start with, if you get your education, you start with the company, go full force in with the company. I mean, be attached, learn the business, learn the philosophy. One thing I gained as a young man with Honda is I wanted to know more about Honda. I wanted to learn more, and I studied the Honda philosophy. And once I learned it, I wanted to teach it. Mm-hmm. And when you teach something, you learn it each and every day. And the philosophy is nothing more than a philosophy, right? It's a mindset. It's how we should run our business. And I think young people today, if they start with a company, they should understand what that company's philosophy is. They should understand what makes that company tick. And then take the initiative to do more than just what they ask you to do. Because if you do that, any supervisor or management member is going to realize that you're committed to the company. And I think sometimes young people, even my kids, they get started in something and they're jumping. They're like, this isn't for me. And I know it's hard to believe today that people stay with jobs 34 years, but I think that's really where young people need to bite in if it's for you.
If the philosophy fits, yeah.
Let's go. And then really work hard to try to achieve that. And really, I think for young people, they really need to understand more than just what they're asked to do. Ask more questions.
Okay.
A lot of young people still today walk around the hallways, and I think they're waiting for someone to tell them where they should take the initiative to ask. Because a lot of people will tell you what you need to know if you ask.
And they're happy to share.
And they're very happy to share their knowledge, right? I mean, that's all I have. I have 34 years of knowledge of Honda, and I love to share. And if they ask, I'll share, but I can't read their mind. So.
What's a typical day like for you?
Oh, Lord. Well, first and foremost, I try to get here about 6:40 in the morning. We start production at 6:30. And first step I make is to the floor. I want my time, at least from 6:30 or 6:40 to about 7:20, 7:15. I want to be out on the floor. I want to see what the condition's like. I want to talk to the team leaders, the coordinators, some of the management members. How's the attendance? What we got? What models we're going to make today. I want to know those things. And so that's the first part. Then after that, I don't really make my schedule.
It's made for you.
Yeah, so then from there, I do a lot of meetings, of course, evaluations. We have a lot of business plan related meetings. We have a lot of new model related evaluations and meetings. And then, of course, the mentoring throughout the day. I think that's the most important thing of any management member is what can you learn today by going to, we have through reality, let's go to the spot, and we want to know the real condition, the real situation, talk to the real individuals that's involved, and be real. Be real. Don't bring it to a whiteboard.
Sure. No PowerPoint presentations.
Exactly. Did we go out and talk to the associate why that problem happened? So who can we mentor, or what is that opportunity for me to go learn something today? Because I'm sure, at least I had the mindset, every time I walk through these double doors, somebody's going to teach me something today that I don't know. And once I do know, how do I use my experience to help that individual not make that same mistake again? or is it a mistake, or is it something great the associate did? And he's just sharing it with me, or she's sharing it with me, and they're proud of it. And then how do you recognize that individual for that effort? Right? And how do you get the other management team to know that that associate did that? And I think having a relationship with associates are so important with Honda, and that's what we drive. I mean, we're associate based. We got a beautiful facility. We got the best technology, I think, to build our products with. But it's the people that run all that. It's the people that take care of that environment, and it's our associates that I'm so proud of. And I get inspired by coming to work because I know the associates are engaged. They have the passion to produce the highest quality product yet at reasonable prices for worldwide customer satisfaction, and they know that's why they come to work. And if they don't know that, it's my job to make sure that that's why you're here. Okay, given the paycheck and the benefits, and that is our philosophy.
To make an exceptional product.
Yes, yeah, to make an exceptional for the customer, right? It's all about the customer. And Mr. Honda, when he started his company, he wanted to help people mobilize. Made sense. And look where we're gone, you know, with Honda as a global company and 120-some manufacturing facilities in 38 different countries.
Wow.
And a very diverse company with auto and power sports like motorcycle and side-by-sides and ATVs. And then, of course, power equipment with the lawnmowers and tillers and generators. And soon, next year, we're going to have the Honda Jet in the air. So not only are we, so we're going to be up in the air. So a very diverse company. We touch so many customers in so many ways with the Honda product, but the philosophy is the same. It doesn't matter if you're in Thailand or if you're in Timminsville, South Carolina. The Honda philosophy is a global philosophy, and we all live by it.
Tell me about your personal philosophy. What would you say your colleagues would say you're best known for?
That's a good question. I would say they would say that Brian's real. You know, he's down to earth. He's one that we feel comfortable talking with, approachable, knowledgeable, and you know, I think honest and trustworthy. I hope respected. You know, I try hard to gain the respect of every associate, and I've been raised not to see any type of color or race or age, so I'm totally blessed with that. And we have 30% contract associates here, but they're in white uniforms, and I don't see contract versus full-time. I see associates doing a job.
Really cool.
So I'd say, you know, I would say that's probably what that Brian Newman is known for, and then also the passion that I bring to the company. I love Honda. I grew up with Honda. I started with Honda because I believed in the product. I still today think it's the best product out there. And I think our associates feel that and know that when they talk with me. And I want every product to be absolutely perfect. So that they'll have joy like I did in using the product.
Well, growing up in Ohio, tell me about your impressions of South Carolina. What do you think are the best features of South Carolina, and what do you think are the worst features of South Carolina?
There's so many good features about South Carolina. The hospitality of South Carolina, the willingness of people wanting to help is so much different than the Midwest. I was very surprised about the hospitality of the Southern hospitality. You hear that, but it was really, I was really
just bowled over by it?
Yeah, I mean, they just grabbed me and said, Brian, we want to introduce you to this to the community. And Florence, you talk about community involvement, so much more involvement than when I worked at Honda.
Okay, interesting.
So our company is very much engaged in the community, which I love, how to give back to the community. And we do, and we try, and we want to be a company society wants to exist. And I think we do that here in Florence and within the state. And I was just so overwhelmed about how many people got involved in the cancer and the heart and the March for Babies and all the nonprofits here in town. The folks that need our help, need our support. We have a philanthropic committee here that gets literally
Stacks.
Well,
Yeah.
most stacks, but we meet monthly. We meet the first Wednesday of every month, and we have a core group. We probably have anywhere between 15 and 20 some items every month of people's needs. You know, if it's art or if it's community activity or if it's just needs to help out some of the special needs that we have here in town. So again, I love that about Honda, South Carolina. I love that about the community. Dislikes about South Carolina, for me, I have 4 children. I have 6 grandkids. 3 of the 4 children are located in Ohio. Of those 3 are all married and they all have kids. And so I have 6 grandkids and they're all in Ohio. So the dislike of South Carolina is
So far away.
11-hour drive from my family. I still have a mom and dad. I'm blessed to have a dad and mother still alive. So they're up in age, and my dad's in a nursing home. So I try my best to try to get back as often as I can. It helps in the winter because I'm an avid Cleveland Browns fan, so I don't miss the Cleveland Browns home games. I kept my season tickets. So my wife and I have the opportunity to go to Ohio for the home games, which gives me that opportunity on Friday and Saturday to visit, and then Sunday go to the game. Then I have to zip back here Sunday night.
Got it.
Or early Monday morning. But anyway, that's probably the thing. Personally, that's difficult for us, right? My wife and I being away from the family. June, July, and August is extremely warm. But after 13 years, I'm used to it. I used to hate that. But I always tell people back north, I don't shovel heat.
That's right.
Right? I don't have to shovel heat. In the winter, I had to shovel snow, and I don't miss that at all. So there's nothing really to dislike about South Carolina. It's just a wonderful state to be in. Wife loves the beaches, Hilton Head, Charleston, probably our favorites.
Excellent.
The mountains are close. Just a beautiful state. We've got a wonderful governor. Take a lot of Nikki Haley. I think she's done a wonderful job here in the state since she's become governor. And our economic development group here in Florence works hard. NISA, the infrastructure of just Florence County and the chambers has just been so supportive to Honda and so supportive to me over the last 13 years. So how can you not like South Carolina? And Nikki always says it's a great day in South Carolina, and it really is a beautiful climate here, and we're blessed to have it compared to the Midwest and Ohio.
Well, we'll take a pause right there. We'll be right back with Beyond the Pages in just a moment.